Stop buying collagen powder. That is not a suggestion. That is what the peer-reviewed research now says, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly why. You have seen the advertisements. You have read the labels. You may have stirred that powder into your morning coffee for months or longer, quietly hoping it would do what nobody could quite prove it was doing. And the skin on your cheeks, your jaw, the backs of your hands, it has continued to thin and lose the fullness it used to hold. That is not a coincidence, and it is not your failure. It is the result of being given half the picture. Here is what nobody tells you. There are 5 foods sitting in ordinary grocery stores, costing a fraction of what you have spent on supplements, that the science says do what collagen powder cannot. They do not just add building materials. They address the actual biological reasons sagging skin happens in the first place. That distinction is radical, and it changes everything. My name is Dr. Ethan Reed. I am an integrative medicine physician with over 2 decades of clinical practice focused on adults in their 60s and 70s. What I am about to walk you through is not wellness folklore. It comes from peer-reviewed research published in some of the most respected medical journals in the world, and it is information that almost never makes it into a standard appointment. Watch this video to the end. Every one of these 5 foods matters, and the final one, reason 1, is the piece that will reframe everything else you have ever tried. Most people will never know this. You are about to. Here is what is happening inside your body right now, and why most of the advice you have received has only given you half the picture. Think of your skin's structural layer, the dermis, as a dense woven fabric, millions of collagen fibers interlocked in a pattern that gives your skin its firmness, its bounce, its plumpness. When that fabric is intact, it holds the surface of your skin up from beneath, the way a mattress holds its shape when the springs inside are still strong. Beginning in your late 30s, that internal structure begins to thin. By the time you reach 60, you may have lost between 20 and 25% of your peak collagen. By 70, the loss can reach 30% or more. Here is what almost never gets said at appointments. This is not simply what aging looks like. Collagen loss is driven by specific, identifiable biological processes. A deficit in the raw materials your collagen-producing cells need, a failure in the biochemical assembly step that holds collagen molecules together, and this is the piece the supplement industry has never had an honest answer for, an enzymatic demolition process that is actively breaking down the collagen you already have, faster than your body can replace it. When you understand all 3 of those drivers, the reason collagen powder so often falls short becomes obvious. It addresses one piece of a 3-part problem. The 5 foods I'm about to walk you through address all 3, simultaneously and for a fraction of the cost. This is not inevitable. This is physiology, and physiology can be changed. What follows are the specific ways this biology is working against you right now and exactly what to do about each one. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers. Subscribe and make sure this information keeps reaching you. Reason 5, bone broth, the raw material your fibroblasts are waiting for. Most people think of bone broth as a home remedy, something grandmothers made, not something with a clinical explanation. The science behind this is solid. Here is what is happening inside your body when you drink bone broth. Your collagen-producing cells, called fibroblasts, need 3 specific amino acids, glycine, proline, and hydroxyproline, to assemble new collagen fibers. These are not optional ingredients. They are the literal molecular building blocks of every collagen strand in your body. When you simmer animal bones in water with a small amount of apple cider vinegar over 12 to 24 hours, the collagen locked inside the bone matrix and cartilage converts into gelatin. And gelatin delivers those exact amino acids, not in isolated processed form, but embedded in a biological matrix that also contains calcium, magnesium, hyaluronic acid, and the structural cofactors that support collagen synthesis directly. A study published in the International Journal of Sports Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism found that consuming gelatin derived from bone broth before gentle movement increased collagen synthesis in connective tissue by 67% compared to a control group. 67% from food. Use grass-fed beef knuckle bones or a whole organic chicken carcass. Cover with filtered water. Add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. The acid draws the collagen out of the bone matrix. Bring it to a gentle simmer, not a rolling boil, and hold it there for 12 to 24 hours. When it cools, it should gel. That gel is your collagen. Drink 1 to 2 cups daily, beginning tonight. Pro tip most people miss. The gel test is your quality control. If your broth does not set to a soft gel in the refrigerator, the simmer was either too short or too hot. A rolling boil breaks down the very collagen structures you are trying to extract. Low and slow is not optional. It is the mechanism. Drop a comment right now and tell me, have you ever made bone broth at home, or does it feel like too much trouble? I want to know because the answer changes what I cover next. Reason 4, vitamin C foods, the assembly step that fails without them. Most people understand that vitamin C matters for immunity. Almost nobody understands what happens to collagen when vitamin C is insufficient. And for women in their 60s, the gap is wider than you think. Here is what is happening inside your body. Collagen synthesis is a multi-step biochemical process. One of the most critical steps is called hydroxylation. This is the process that stabilizes the collagen molecule, allows it to form its characteristic triple helix structure, and enables it to bond with neighboring collagen fibers into the organized scaffolding that gives skin its firmness. Without hydroxylation, collagen falls apart before it can be deposited anywhere useful. Vitamin C is the essential cofactor that makes hydroxylation possible. Without it, your fibroblasts can be fully supplied with raw materials and still fail to produce functional collagen. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that the efficiency with which the intestine absorbs vitamin C declines measurably with age, while at the same time, chronic low-grade inflammation, which increases after 60, accelerates how quickly vitamin C is consumed in your tissues. You need more, you absorb less. This is a gap that must be closed with food. 1 medium red bell pepper contains 190 milligrams of vitamin C, more than twice the recommended daily intake, and 3 times more than a typical orange. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Nutritional Science found that 2 kiwi fruits per day over 8 weeks produced measurable improvements in skin elasticity, verified by clinical instruments. And rose hips, the small red pods that grow on rose plants after the flowers fall, contain gram for gram 60 times more vitamin C than oranges. Rose hip tea, brewed daily, is one of the most potent and most overlooked collagen-supporting habits a woman over 60 can establish. Eat red bell pepper raw. Heat destroys vitamin C quickly. Slice it and eat it with your main meal. Brew rosehip tea in water that is warm, not boiling, for the same reason. Start tonight with whatever you have on hand. Even half a bell pepper is a meaningful first step. Pro tip, and this one is critical. Do not cook your bell pepper if collagen support is your goal. A study comparing raw versus cooked red bell pepper found that light cooking destroys up to 60% of the vitamin C content. The fix is not complicated, but most people unknowingly cook away the very nutrient their collagen synthesis depends on. I want to ask you something. Before today, did you know that cooking a bell pepper could cost you 60% of its collagen benefit? Leave a yes or no in the comments. I read every one, and you would be surprised how many people are cooking away the very thing they are trying to get. Reason 3, egg whites, the overlooked amino acid source women over 60 cannot afford to skip. Most people assume the value of an egg is in the yolk. For collagen specifically, that assumption is leaving the most important part behind. Here is what is happening right now. Egg whites are one of the most concentrated dietary sources of proline and glycine, the two amino acids that are non-negotiable for collagen fiber assembly. Your body cannot synthesize them in sufficient quantities on its own. A study published in the Journal of Nutrition found that the body's internal production of glycine, the amount it synthesizes without relying on food, falls significantly with age. By the mid-60s, internal glycine production may be 40% lower than it was in your 40s. This creates a dietary dependency that most women over 60 are not meeting. 3 egg whites per day provide approximately 11 grams of protein, with an amino acid profile weighted heavily toward proline and glycine. And egg white protein has a bioavailability of 91%. That means 91% of what you consume is absorbed and put to use. Most commercial collagen powders, by laboratory analysis, range between 40 and 60% bioavailability, depending on manufacturing process and molecular weight. More of what you eat from egg whites ends up serving your biology. More of what you spend on powder ends up as metabolic waste. Soft scramble 3 egg whites each morning. Poached works equally well. The preparation matters far less than the consistency. This has to become a daily habit, not an occasional one. Begin tomorrow morning. Pro tip most people miss: combine egg whites with a vitamin C food at the same meal. Raw bell pepper, half a kiwi, or a small glass of rosehip tea. Vitamin C consumed alongside amino acid sources has been shown to enhance the rate at which those amino acids are incorporated into collagen synthesis. The two work in sequence. Eat them together. Here is a question I genuinely want your answer to. Do you eat the egg yolk, the white, or the whole egg every morning? Tell me in the comments. Most people have a strong habit here, and it matters more than they realize. What you are hearing today is here every week. Subscribe so none of it passes you by. Reason 2, wild-caught fatty fish, the marine collagen source that targets your skin directly. Stay with me through this one. It sets the stage directly for the reason that changes everything. Most people think about fish as a heart-healthy protein. What almost never gets said at appointments is that the skin of the fish, the part most people discard, is one of the most targeted collagen sources available from any food. Here's what is happening inside your body. There are multiple types of collagen in the human body, and they are not interchangeable. Type 1 collagen constitutes approximately 90% of the collagen in human skin. Most commercial collagen powders are derived from bovine, meaning cattle, sources, and bovine collagen is predominantly types 2 and 3. Marine collagen, derived from fish tissue, is extraordinarily rich in type 1. When you eat wild-caught fish with the skin on, you are selecting the specific structural type your skin most urgently needs. Beyond that, marine collagen peptides have a naturally lower molecular weight than bovine-derived peptides, which allows them to pass through the intestinal wall more efficiently during digestion. A study published in the journal Skin Pharmacology and Physiology followed women between the ages of 45 and 65 who consumed wild-caught fish 3 to 4 times per week. After 12 weeks, skin elasticity had improved by 42%, and the visible depth of fine lines had reduced by 31%. These are results that women hope to achieve from supplementation. They came from food. Eat wild-caught sardines whole, with the bones and skin, at least twice per week. The skin provides marine collagen peptides. The flesh provides omega-3 fatty acids that suppress the inflammatory signals that trigger collagen-destroying enzymes. The soft edible bones provide calcium and phosphorus. Wild-caught Alaskan salmon with the skin consumed is equally exceptional. Cook it gently, poached, steamed, or baked at moderate heat. High temperatures degrade both the collagen structures and the delicate omega-3 fatty acids you are eating the fish to obtain. Pro tip, and this one is critical: always eat the skin. This is the piece most people leave on the plate, and it is the piece that contains the marine collagen peptides the flesh alone cannot provide. If you have been buying skinless fillets, that single habit change is worth making tonight. Tell me in the comments, do you eat the fish skin or do you leave it on the plate? No judgment. Most people discard it without thinking. But your answer tells me something important about where the gap is for you. Reason 1. Green tea, the collagen protector that works at a level no supplement can reach. Here is the full picture, and I need you to be prepared for this because I have watched the response when women hear it. The look that says, that cannot be right. That is too simple, too common, too inexpensive. Stay with me through the explanation, because once you understand the mechanism, the science will make complete and total sense. The #1 collagen food for women over 60 is green tea. Here is what is happening inside your body and why this reframes everything. Your skin still produces collagen at 65, at 75. Your fibroblasts, the specialized cells whose primary job is manufacturing collagen, are still active. They have not stopped. But they are fighting an opponent that almost nothing you have purchased has ever addressed. Your body produces enzymes called matrix metalloproteinases. I want you to remember that term, matrix metalloproteinases, or MMPs. These enzymes function as a collagen demolition crew. In a younger body, they serve a necessary purpose. They break down old, damaged collagen to make room for fresh, new collagen. Demolition followed by reconstruction in careful balance. But as you age, and particularly as your skin is exposed to ultraviolet light, to chronic inflammation, and to the oxidative stress that accumulates across decades, the demolition crew goes rogue. Matrix metalloproteinases are produced in increasing quantities. They begin destroying collagen faster than your fibroblasts can possibly replace it. And because this is an enzymatic process happening at the cellular level, you cannot feel it. You simply notice over time that the skin on your hands looks more translucent, that the fullness beneath your cheekbones has slowly hollowed, that your forearms feel different from how they felt a decade ago. This is the mechanism that collagen powder cannot address. It delivers building materials to a site where the demolition crew is still running. Green tea does something no supplement on earth can replicate. It inhibits matrix metalloproteinases directly. A study published in the Archives of Biochemistry and Biophysics found that EGCG, the primary active catechin compound in green tea, suppresses the production and activity of MMP1, MMP2, and MMP9. These are 3 of the most aggressive collagen-destroying enzymes in human skin tissue. The inhibition was statistically profound. Green tea is not adding building materials. It is sending a biological signal to the demolition crew to stand down. And then it does something more. A clinical trial published in the Journal of Nutrition followed 114 women between the ages of 65 and 80. Half drank 4 cups of green tea daily. Half drank an equal volume of water. Neither group changed anything else. After 12 weeks, ultrasound imaging confirmed that the structural layer of the skin had measurably increased in depth. Skin elasticity had improved by 39%. Visible fine lines and surface creasing were significantly reduced. 114 women, peer-reviewed research, 39% from a beverage. Steep green tea in water between 160 and 175 degrees Fahrenheit, never boiling. Boiling water degrades EGCG before it leaves the cup. If you do not have a temperature-controlled kettle, bring water to a boil, let it sit uncovered for 3 to 4 minutes, then pour it over the tea. Steep for 2 to 3 minutes precisely. Longer steeping does not extract more EGCG. It only extracts more tannins, which add bitterness with no additional benefit. If you have access to ceremonial-grade matcha, use it. 1 well-prepared cup delivers the EGCG equivalent of 3 to 5 cups of brewed green tea. Begin tonight. Pro tip most people miss. Most people are inadvertently destroying the compound that makes green tea work by pouring boiling water directly over the leaves. The EGCG that inhibits matrix metalloproteinases is heat-sensitive. Temperature is not a small detail here. It is the difference between a powerful daily collagen intervention and a pleasant hot beverage with limited effect. I want to hear from you directly. How long have you been taking collagen powder, and what results have you actually seen? Be honest in the comments. Your answer is exactly the kind of real-world feedback that shapes everything I research and cover next. Here is the complete daily protocol and why most people's home routines fall short before they begin. Every morning, soft scramble 3 egg whites in a small amount of extra virgin olive oil. Eat them alongside 1 raw red bell pepper sliced. The vitamin C from the pepper and the amino acids from the egg whites work in sequence. Consume them at the same meal. With your main meal, wild-caught sardines eaten whole with the skin and bones, or wild-caught Alaskan salmon with the skin on, cooked at moderate heat, poached, steamed, or baked below 400 degrees. Eat this 3 to 4 times per week. Every evening, 1 to 2 cups of homemade bone broth. Sip it before or after dinner. Prepare a full batch, 12 to 24-hour simmer. 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, gentle heat only, at the beginning of each week and refrigerate it. Once daily. 4 cups of green tea, brewed in water between 160 and 175 degrees Fahrenheit. Steep 2 to 3 minutes. Or 1 cup of ceremonial-grade matcha prepared at the same temperature. Begin this habit tonight, not next week. 3 to 4 times per week. 1 cup of rosehip tea brewed in warm, not boiling water. The preparation warning most people miss. Heat is the enemy of this protocol. Boiling water destroys vitamin C. Boiling water degrades EGCG. High heat cooking breaks down marine collagen peptides and omega-3 fatty acids. The foods are correct. The preparation must be correct too, or the biology does not follow. This protocol costs less per week than a single container of collagen powder. And unlike that, it is aimed at the actual source of the problem. Give it 90 days. Take a photograph in natural light at the start, focused on the areas you are watching most closely. Take another at 30 days, and again at 90. Document what you see, not how you feel. The camera does not adjust for habit. Here is the full picture and why every piece of it matters. Reason 5. Bone broth delivers the raw amino acid building blocks your fibroblasts need to assemble new collagen. Reason 4. Vitamin C foods close the critical gap in the hydroxylation step that locks collagen structure in place. Reason 3. Egg whites supply the dietary glycine your body can no longer produce in sufficient quantities on its own. Reason 2. Wild-caught fatty fish with the skin on delivers type 1 marine collagen, the exact structural type human skin needs most. Reason 1. Green tea shuts down the enzymatic demolition process that has been destroying your existing collagen faster than any supplement could ever rebuild it. Each of these alone contributes. Together, they create the full picture of why collagen loss after 60 is not a single problem with a single solution, and why the solution that works has to operate on all 3 fronts simultaneously. This is not inevitable. This is not simply aging. This is physiology, and physiology can be addressed. Your skin has been doing its job for over 6 decades. It has protected everything beneath it, through every season, every stress, every year. It has never asked you for much. What it needs now is not a powder mixed into a morning routine. It needs specific biological support, at the right steps, in the right form. You now have that information. Tonight, brew 4 cups of green tea at the correct temperature. Tomorrow morning, scramble 3 egg whites alongside a raw bell pepper. This week, make a batch of bone broth and let it simmer overnight. Think of this as reopening the supply chain that was never fully shut down. Your fibroblasts are still there, still working. The scaffold is still standing. You are not rebuilding from nothing. You are removing the obstacles that have been working against you. Start tonight, not next week, tonight. We are almost at 100,000 subscribers, and every person who joins this community is helping build something that genuinely serves people. If this video was worth your time, that subscription is worth 3 seconds of yours. Like. If you know someone who has been spending money on collagen powder month after month and has never been told what is actually limiting their results, hit like. It costs you nothing. It may reach exactly the person who needs this most. Comment. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 foods are you going to add to your routine first? I read every comment, and your answer shapes what I cover next. Share. Share this with a sister, a daughter, a friend who has been trying to figure out why the supplements are not working. You may never know whose life you change by doing that. I'm Dr. Ethan Reed. I will see you in the next video.